Have you ever looked at someone else's life and thought, why can't I have what they have? Why does success seem so easy for them while I struggle every single day? If you've ever felt this way, then this story will change how you see yourself and your journey forever. Today, I want to share with you a powerful story about a young woman who almost destroyed her own happiness because she couldn't stop comparing herself to others. But more importantly, I'll show you the life-changing lesson she discovered that completely transformed her perspective. While we follow her journey, we'll also learn some valuable insights about finding contentment and building confidence. So stay with me until the end. Once upon a time, in a bustling city filled with dreams and ambitions, there lived a 26-year-old woman named Sarah. Sarah worked as a graphic designer at a small advertising company. She was talented, creative, and had everything she needed to live a comfortable life. But Sarah had one problem that was slowly eating away at her happiness. She could never stop comparing herself to others. Every morning, Sarah would wake up and immediately check her phone. She scrolled through social media, looking at her friends' perfect vacation photos, their new cars, their promotions at work, and their happy relationships. Each post felt like a reminder of what she didn't have. Her co-workers seemed more successful. Her friends appeared more confident. Even strangers on the internet looked like they were living better lives than hers. This constant comparison made Sarah feel miserable. She started doubting her abilities at work. She questioned every decision she made. When her boss praised her designs, she thought, "He's just being nice. I'm probably not that good." When her friends invited her out, she would decline, thinking, "They probably don't really want me there. They just feel sorry for me." Sarah's apartment, which she had once loved, now felt small and shabby. Her job, which had once excited her, now seemed boring and unimportant. Her achievements, which had once made her proud, now felt meaningless. Everything in her life lost its shine because she was always looking at what others had, instead of appreciating what was right in front of her. One evening, after a particularly difficult day at work, Sarah sat in her living room, feeling completely defeated. She had spent the entire day comparing her latest project to the work of a famous designer she followed online. Her confidence was at an all-time low. She felt like giving up on her dreams entirely. As she sat there in the dim light, tears rolling down her cheeks, she remembered something her grandmother used to say when Sarah was a little girl. Her grandmother would hold her hand and tell her, "My dear child, the grass always looks greener on the other side, but if you water your own grass, it will bloom beautifully too." Back then, Sarah had been too young to understand what her grandmother meant. But now, sitting alone in her apartment, those words began to make sense. She realized that she had been so busy looking at everyone else's gardens that she had forgotten to tend to her own. That night, Sarah made a decision that would change everything. She decided to stop looking over the fence and start focusing on her own life. But she knew this wouldn't be easy. Comparing herself to others had become such a habit that she didn't even realize she was doing it most of the time. The next morning, Sarah woke up with a new determination. Instead of reaching for her phone immediately, she sat by her window and looked outside. She noticed things she had never paid attention to before. The way the morning sunlight painted golden streaks across her wall. The sound of birds singing in the tree outside her apartment. The smell of fresh coffee from the cafe downstairs. For the first time in months, Sarah felt a spark of peace inside her heart. She realized that all these small, beautiful moments had been there every single day, but she had been too busy looking at other people's lives to notice them. She decided to start a simple practice. Every morning, she would write down 3 things she was grateful for in her own life. At work that day, Sarah approached her tasks differently. Instead of thinking about what the famous designer would create, she focused on her own unique style. She poured her heart into a new project, using colors and ideas that felt authentic to her vision. When her colleague Lisa complimented her work, Sarah didn't dismiss the praise like she usually did. Instead, she said thank you and allowed herself to feel proud. During lunch, Sarah noticed something interesting. Lisa, the same colleague who had just praised her work, was scrolling through her phone with a sad expression. Sarah had always thought Lisa had the perfect life. She drove an expensive car, wore designer clothes, and seemed so confident. But now Sarah could see that Lisa was doing exactly what Sarah used to do. She was comparing herself to others on social media and feeling unhappy about her own life. This moment was like a light bulb turning on in Sarah's mind. She realized that everyone, no matter how perfect their life looked from the outside, was fighting their own battles. Everyone had their own insecurities and struggles. The people she had been comparing herself to were probably comparing themselves to someone else too. Over the following weeks, Sarah continued her new practice. She stopped checking social media first thing in the morning. Instead, she used that time to think about her goals and what she wanted to achieve that day. She started taking walks during her lunch break, noticing the beauty in her neighborhood. She began calling her friends more often, not to compete with them or hear about their successes, but simply to connect and share genuine moments. Sarah's transformation didn't happen overnight, but slowly she began to see her world through completely different eyes. Her small apartment became a cozy sanctuary filled with her own creative touches. Her job became an opportunity to express her unique artistic vision. Her relationships deepened because she was finally present and authentic, instead of constantly measuring herself against others. 6 months later, Sarah received the promotion she had been hoping for. But this time, when she celebrated her success, she didn't immediately think about who might be doing better than her. Instead, she felt genuine pride in how far she had come. She had learned the most valuable lesson of all: your only competition is who you were yesterday. Sarah's story teaches us that comparison truly is the thief of joy. When we spend our energy looking at what others have, we rob ourselves of the chance to appreciate our own blessings and work toward our own dreams. Remember, everyone's journey is different, and everyone's timeline is unique. The next time you catch yourself comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel, remember Sarah's grandmother's wisdom. Stop looking over the fence and start watering your own grass. Focus on your own growth, celebrate your own victories, and trust your own path. If this story resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And remember, the most beautiful gardens are the ones tended with love and patience. Your life is your garden. Make it bloom.